What's good? It's your boy Fannon. All right, man. I am going to talk about the rumored fight. It's not official. I believe that it more than likely will become official, but I'm going to call it a rumored fight until it's actually out there, which is Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman in July in Vegas. And I'm okay with this fight, man. But I'm going to talk about what I think is happening in the fight, but I'm also going to talk about this in the context of Keith Thurman and Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, man. You guys got to forgive me. Sometimes I just get really into subjects. And this whole Terence Crawford thing for me is, it's just something that I just keep thinking about. So I'm going to wind up in this conversation coming around to that, and specifically talking about Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. Now, before I do that, though, I want to welcome you back to the channel, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of, and hit all notifications so that you can get those. Also, check out the live streams that we do Monday through Fridays in the mornings, and also the best show, the featured show of the week we do on this channel is Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern, OG Boxing Talk with myself and Blood Boxing and KQKC Boxing. We're going to chop it up about a lot of stuff now, and also check out the Patreon. So let's go through this, okay? Keith Thurman is the WBA champion. Manny Pacquiao is the WBA regular champion. And that's why I say it's a good fight. It's a good fight for Keith Thurman because, he would become the only champion in the WBA, or Manny Pacquiao would become the only champion in the WBA. Although I don't consider the WBA regular a major title, really it's just it puts you in the position of being a contender. There's enough confusion about that belt out there that it's a good thing whenever you can have one person holding both or whatever, right? So I'm okay with that fight. Also, I do think Keith Thurman as a champion, is not quite ready for the Sean Porter, Errol Spence, or Terence Crawford fight. And this is a hell of a step up to get ready for those if he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao. I favor Keith Thurman in this fight because of age of Manny Pacquiao. Also the hand speed, foot speed of Keith Thurman. But it could be a very good fight, man, especially if Keith Thurman is not all the way back. Manny Pacquiao, I think, is is looking for big paydays, looking to fight for championships. And I don't have a problem, man. If he's fighting a champion, he's fighting a champion. This isn't one of the younger champions, but this is an established champion. And hey, man, it's a good fight. It's a good fight for Manny Pacquiao. I got no beef with either guy taking this fight. Now, this is my thought on this, man, and what this demonstrates. I am really, really tired of people thinking that because, I'm a little bit of an older guy, and I have kind of like a daddy mentality sometimes with some things, and I can be kind of preachy. But I'm telling you, man, I am not a Terence Crawford hater at all, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's no reason for Terence Crawford not to be one of the most widely celebrated boxers on the face of this earth. And the problem is not who he's fighting, but it's who he's fighting for. Look at what's going on with Manny Pacquiao right now in this fight, and Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman has been in the ring one time in the last 3 years, and he's fighting on a pay-per-view card against one of the biggest names in boxing in the last this century, in Manny Pacquiao. These guys are probably going to do around 400,000, 450,000 pay-per-view buys, and Keith Thurman is going to probably walk up out of there with $8-10 million and be able to walk up into the mountains of Nepal and blow a flute for the rest of his life, man. Even though he ain't fought nobody in 2 years. Manny Pacquiao. Because Manny Pacquiao left Bob Arum. And let's get this right. Left Bob Arum. He will now be on his second pay-per-view in a row. Since he left him, walked in, fought Adrian Bronner, made a bunch of money. coming right back for the second time. For the second time in a year on a second pay-per-view against Keith Thurman. Going to make a bunch of money. And after that, he could probably get a third. What was going on with him in Top Rank? Top Rank put him in there, made him travel to Australia on a fight that was subsidized by the Queensland government or whatever that province is in Australia, right? Not on pay-per-view, not for a whole bunch of money. A risky fight against a guy that was, like Jeff Horn, young, hungry dude who probably should be fighting at 154 pounds, and just no glory in that, man. Nothing but some money to earn. Then stood in the way of him fighting Lucas Matisse in Asia. Once again, not with no support, just a bunch of just trying to hold him down. Dude, Manny Pacquiao, as soon as he left Bob Arum, is now in a great position. He could choose between a fight with Errol Spence, between Keith Thurman. He could also do a pay-per-view against Sean Porter. Manny Pacquiao versus any of those guys are gonna do good, solid numbers, especially if he's the promoter and he doesn't have to pay Bob Arum. So when I'm looking and talking about Errol, I did a video. I'm gonna do a video today too, because those numbers are about to come out, dude. I did a video yesterday about it when I was like, look, man, the numbers, the viewership for the preliminary fights, they don't look promising, because there was 291,000 people that watched the preliminaries for free on ESPN. Very little promotion for that fight for the weeks before that. Nothing like the promotions that are being put out there by Fox being put out there by Fox for the Deontay Wilder Dominic Breazeale fight. They've had him up on Fox already several times talking about the fight, and that fight was, and he did it months before the fight was happening. And it's going to pick up the closer we get to that fight with Breazeale. Same thing with Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. They constantly were promoting that fight. That's not the case with Amir Khan and Terence Crawford. They did cursory promotions of it the week before the fight. Even when you listen to the way that they describe Terence Crawford, whenever they talk about Terence Crawford, they talk about somebody being better than him in Vasyl Lomachenko. I mean, how it's like you can blame the poor pay-per-view numbers, which more than likely are going to be around 175,000. In my video, I said 244, right? Because I was like, man, I really am hoping this thing can be up around 250,000 pay-per-views. I'm hoping. But it's looking more like 150, 175. But I hope it is that big. But I don't believe that, what people are saying, that, it's just the reason that it's like that is because he fought Amir Khan. No, it's not because he fought Amir Khan. It's not who he fought. It's who he fought for. It's the fact that he fought for Top Rank. And the fact that Top Rank is not selling it. They're not selling Terence Crawford. They're not talking about Terence Crawford like he's the best fighter in the world. They talk about him like maybe he's the top fighter in the world by the hair of his chinny chin chin, and how much we would really like to see the Errol Spence fight. But because man, come on, man. Terence Crawford with Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao are showing why Terence Crawford made a questionable decision to stay with Bob Arum in the Top Rank, and how much I really, really hope he gets the opportunity, like many other fighters before him, like Miguel Cotto, like Floyd Mayweather Jr., like Oscar De La Hoya, like Manny Pacquiao, to make more money and be able to have more control over their career after they leave Bob Arum. Because Terence Crawford is not appreciated by Top Rank. The fight wasn't sold by Top Rank, and now you have a stark example of guys that are both over there. One guy that's over the hill, And y'all, I don't care what you think. I like Manny Pacquiao. Some of y'all think every time you say something about Manny Pacquiao that isn't glowing, that you just hating on the dude. Dude, he's 40 years old. It is what it is, okay? Keith Thurman has been constantly injured, hasn't had top competition in years. The one time he comes back against Josecito Lopez, he looked a little bit suspect, but what are they getting now? They're getting an opportunity for a good fight that fight fans are going to want to see, and they have control over their careers. And that fight is going to get pushed and marketed as a good fight. You're not going to have something like them doing Lomachenko commercials in the middle of the press conference for your fight. Anyway, it is what it is, and with that, I'm out.